I'll do a little update video again since I haven't put anything up. I got some stuff ready to go up, but I wanted to do the update first. This truck here that I bought for parts, and to learn how to work on this motor. I think on my last video, on the last update video, I think I said that this one started up and ran when I had it towed here, but then it quit and it wouldn't start up again, and it took me a while to find out why. It turned out that in this fender well area here, but the fender well's out, I saw some damaged wires that has some mouse chewing going on inside of this, and it's one of two things. Either I disturbed a plug that was loose and it started working, or the one wire that was broken in here, chewed through completely, was the one that that was stopping it from starting up and running. But I don't know which the case was. I didn't try it before I soldered the wire back together and taped it all up. I didn't try to start it before I did all of that, so it did start up and run after I did that. I painted some liquid tape on the wires that were skinned a little bit, but the copper was still good. I painted some liquid tape on those, and then the one that I had to actually cut a piece off and solder in between the two broken ends, I had to fix that. Of course, I taped all of that up and then covered it with this tape. It was in here, so if you've got one of these, it very possibly could be this second connector here. From this angle, this is on the driver's side. Your problem could be in there if you have injectors that are not getting a signal from the FICM. Actually, I wasn't getting any FICM voltage at all on this, and you have to know a little bit about these Ford diesel motors to know what a FICM is. It's underneath there. It's a computer that operates the injectors. And I wasn't getting power to that computer. I was getting a little bit of power from the ignition source to it, but the output power that goes to the injectors was gone. Anyway, it does start up and run now. And the brakes, I had to take the front brake calipers off on both sides, and I got a C-clamp on them temporarily. I could take a block of wood and put it in there and get my C-clamp back. But these, this truck is for parts. I can't justify buying calipers for it. So, in order to be able to move it around the property, I got back brakes only, and I got a C-clamp on both front calipers to hold the pistons in. So, that truck actually runs. That motor runs better than this one on this truck, and I'm trying to find out what the difference is and how to go about fixing that. I'm still working on that. I really don't want to change motors because it's a super big nightmare of a job to switch a motor out on one of these trucks. I mean, it's a big job, and it's not something I want to do. But that motor on that parts truck runs better than this one. But this one runs good, but it's got issues, and I don't know how to get to the bottom of it yet because I don't know much about reading scanners on these things. Finally, got some video footage of this Cefaspi, however they say it, I don't know, you guess how you want to say it. This little stick welder that was sent to me. It's really cheap price, like $75 or something like that, I don't know, on Amazon, or I think there's a discount on it right at the moment, and maybe the price is regular a little bit higher than that. Anyway, I'm going to do that video and get it up because I'm about like 2 months behind on this, and if you like a little bitty stick welder, It's very lightweight. Plug it into 110 extension cord and weld anywhere. But it also has a 220. It'll go on 220 or 110. And here's a couple of sample welds I did with it. So that is good. Still poking around at this plumbing job and redoing the laundry room and the bathroom floor over here. We got hot and cold water in the kitchen sink now, but with new plumbing, and we got the new plumbing started. The blue pipe there goes to the toilet, so that I can use that for the moment, but the red pipe, it needs to take that elbow out and put a T in it when I'm ready, so we can have hot water going into the bathroom to the because the water heater's right in there. There's the top of the water heater. You probably can't recognize it from that, but that's where it is. And some of these joists in here are bad. Let me see if this will hold up, and I can't walk all the way across there. I have to step down. Got to get the rest of this floor out, get this floor leveled, get the bathtub out of here. Bathtub, the drain, it's all rotted out and fallen in. It's so you know, nothing you can do with that. So it's all coming out, and then after that, then we're going to start on what used to be my bedroom before I moved in the new house. This is really bad in here. This floor, you get dizzy walking across this floor. It's so warped and bent. I leveled this bookcase before. You can't tell on the camera, but it's leaning quite a bit. It's leaning quite a bit to this side, and I had leveled that before years ago by adding some blocks of wood to the side, and that has all sunk in again, and it's leaning about ready to tip over again. Yeah, that old house is kind of like the rental house. So you guys have been watching me for a long time. You might remember when I had to redo a lot of the rental house because it was in a real bad way. Got some things going on here in the garden area. Got this plastic, this material, water goes through it, but weeds don't. And I haven't finished getting it done. I got to get some more along through here to cut down on weed eating and pulling weeds on my hands and knees. So got that down in there, except for this first strawberry patch, this big square area right here. I'm pulling plugs out and putting them in these raised beds here. These are what they call June strawberries. They do not bear fruit throughout the year. Only, in my case, I get them in May and maybe a little bit in June. First part of June, I get fruit, and then they just sit there and they're green the rest of the season. You get a berry or two once in a while and during the summer. But the dirt is extremely hard. It's dense. It's that old gumbo, the original dirt from around here, which has all been replaced all the way around with a softer dirt and a lot of horse manure compost. Several tons of horse manure, about 3 to 4 inches of horse manure compost, tilled in with that lighter, softer dirt. And that is what is in these beds, except for these plugs. They're about the size of the bottom of a 5-gallon bucket. We cut some plugs out of that area there and put them in here, and we're going to let these runners that come off these berry plants, let them reach out and reestablish in this lighter, softer dirt in these 3 beds right here. And just grabbed a handful of plants out of that bed there and put them in this one earlier this spring. Filled this up with dirt and then put a few plugs in there, and you can see they're moving along pretty good. This one here just had a few on one end last year, but they've traveled across here and are filling this area in. Trick is with strawberries, don't let them grow too thick. when you see these runners like this coming off of them, you gotta, if you don't have a good place for that to start a new plant, then you want to snatch that off of there. Otherwise, they get too thick in there and they'll crowd each other out and you won't get very good fruit. That's what happened in here. And so that's why I'm transplanting them into these new beds with the softer dirt. I'm going to keep an eye on how they spread. And then I'm going to get rid of all of that and reuse, put the new softer dirt in there and reuse that for other plants like the rest, like the peppers and cucumbers and tomatoes and everything that's going on out there. Well, I think that'll be the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and I do have a couple of repair videos. Well, I got those two, let's see, I got the one I got to do on that torch set that Vivor sent me. I haven't put that up yet, and I got to do the that little welder, that stick welder. I got to get that up, and then I got some car repair, truck repair stuff that I recorded, but it's not. I haven't done the editing yet. So, all right. Thanks for watching.